Do no.
So,
Yeah. Actually it's Sigwrap, so signal plus trap. So we were thinking on the lines of data acquisition for ECG. So in a general hospital setup, we have a 12 leads ECG in which we have 10 electrodes, 5 connected to the area where the heart is and 4 connected to the ends of the limbs. So can you go next?
Sorry.
So, next. In it, while talking to the clinicians who had visited yesterday and today, we got info that approximately mostly this is a job of a nurse, but mostly it is pushed on to a junior nurse, and then if she's not able to do it, then a senior nurse or a trained nurse does it. But even in that setting, a ECG which is asked by a doctor, when he receives it after being hit and trialed by junior and senior nurses, 20% of the times they get it wrong. The doctor has to ask the nurse to do it again. So this is relatively high percentage, given that they would have done it multiple times if it has got wrong. Second thing is, mostly it is done by junior nurses, and as there are 10 electrodes and all have their individual wires coming to the monitor, there's a lot of tension in those wires, and even a slight movement of the main patient can cause basically the movement of the electrode, and hence the signal which you are really interested to capture may not be possible. Secondly, in a moving setup, for example, you are moving a patient from one OT to another, where he is continuously monitored for ECG, or in a case of an ambulance, where there's continuous vibrations and turbulence due to the motion. A setup which we in conventional way use doesn't fit in because of the way the electrodes are pushed and all these tangled wires, all these 10 wires going to the monitor. So in this workshop, in this problem statement, we try to address these issues: how to make a stable version of the electrodes, how to wire them properly so that there's more stability and they are more robust in terms of measuring the electrical signals. So the need statement is a stable way to record accurate ECG and data in moving patients, and our criteria was accurate reading and stability while in motion. Next. So the prototype will be explained by Tushar.
So as he said, the basic problem that we found out while doing this study was that misplacement of the probes, that when we keep those probes on your chest, slight misplacement in the probes will give you inaccurate reading, and this is like 10 to 15% of the patients will have that problem. So doctors regularly face this problem. So instead of initially we thought of designing some portable device, then we start off designing something for ambulance, for transportation vehicles. Then later on in our product design, there is one tool in which when you are not getting any idea, you can scrap all the works what you have done and you can start from scratch. So we were in last half an hour, we scrapped everything. We started to think on the problem from the scratch, and we understood that there is a problem in the probe. If we fixed it, then it can be a very good solution. So very simple way of looking at the problem, we thought, and then we come up with these solutions. Like right now there are so many wires that are hanging around the patients, and those wires causes problem for the patients and doctors also. So instead of playing with all those wires, you can put all those wires in a single strap, and you can put this strap on the patient. Either you can put it like this. All the wires will be there inside the strap, and it will be a single wire that will be connected to the portable machine, ECG machine. And you can, the other thing is that accuracy. The other problem that nurses faces is that if they misplaces this probe anywhere, then they will not get accurate reading. So for that, this thing will help them to position it accurately. Like you can just move it here and there. So instead of playing with those big wires and big probes, it will simply provide you, it will help you to get accurate reading, and it will solve the problem of taking readings again and again. The challenges that we need to face in this case is that for different patients, the probes will be placed differently. So that arrangement we need to provide inside this trap. We can provide sliding or something like that, very simple way. And the other thing is that here the probes that we have to design, like we can design an entirely new kind of probes, or we can use the existing probes also, like stickers and all those things are currently available. So those things are, we need to research and we have to think of all those things.
Fantastic. Please give them a big round of applause. Okay, just some quick feedback. So it's great to see that when you created a need statement and then you figured out some things and then you rechanged your entire problem and found out. So in terms of the need statement, a stable way to record accurate ECG data in moving patients does not still give information about in which setting is this moving really happening, and does this mean patients are being transported, or does this mean that patients are stationary but shaking or moving? So if you could have some more clarity on that, that would be easy. The criteria, like you can have accuracy for a particular percentage of cases. So how many times would you want an accuracy? And I think there are many tests that are acceptable today with even 70% accuracy or 80% accuracy, and they're still there in the market and they're acceptable. So the best way to do this is find out what is the accuracy of all your predicates that are available, and either be at par or maybe slightly better than them if you had to choose a number. And even with stability, so stability is something that can be easily proven, but if you could quantify that, how much of movement or mobility is allowed while recording your ECG, and at what percentage of time would you want this to be stable? Because there is going to be some movement. You can't really stop the movement unless the person is dead, because the breathing movement is going to be there. So there's some amount of movement that should be allowed, or some quantification on that criteria. Yeah, otherwise, I think the product seems to be in line with what the stakeholder and business analysis is for ECG leads today. It looks like this is something that could attach to an existing ECG machine or even adapt to existing ECG leads. And I would see this being used in ambulances when patients are being transported for longer periods of time. So maybe talking to ambulances or paramedics who spend time in ambulances and finding out, do you need to take ECGs in the ambulance, and are they reliable readings? Do you get a lot of artifacts? And also talking to technicians, I think that would make some sense. Any other comments?
Clarification. The current ECG machines, so each of the lead from the body goes all the way to the ECG machine. Yeah. So there's a 12 lead, it's 12 cables.
Generally not 12 lead. 12 lead is, when we say lead, it's the difference in between the potentials of the electrodes. So there are 10 electrodes.
They keep so many points, okay?
Yeah.
Each one of them goes there.
Yeah, then there is a hub there, but each of one goes there.
Where is the hub?
Just before the monitor.
Before the machine.
Yeah, before the machine.
Okay, now what you're trying to do is actually you're shifting the hub from the machine to
yes, here only, and
the strap.
So
or
the current machine actually from the hub only one cable goes.
yeah.
One cable goes. In your case also, from wherever the hub you're going to have, you're going to one cable.
Yeah, we are just moving the junction point to here, and all those wires will be kept inside it, so there won't be machines and playing.
Plus, nurses require a lot of training in order to locate where to probe. So this will basically help them. So they are localized. Means it's a proper by the physiology or the anatomy. You know where to probe, but means if there's a nurse who is not properly trained, she might not place them correctly. But if we can localize to some extent that if there's probe, V1 probe or one of the probes, it has to be within this area. So it is easier for her to get it right in the first time rather than doing mistakes.
I understand.
So
instead of giving me 4 wires rather than 4 wires in this strip, is there a difference? 4 individual wires are given to me.
yeah, so the
Current one.